told Kanye that real revolutionaries didn't need corporate money to change the world, and told Oscar winner Monique that being a legend doesn't matter if you can't fill seats. This is Charlamagne the God, the king of the uncomfortable question. And these are 15 times he checked guests for being way too cocky. In 2011, Lil Mama walked into the Breakfast Club riding high off her earlier success with lip gloss. She came in with confidence that didn't match her current resume. And Charlamagne wasn't about to let that slide. Before she could even get comfortable, he hit her with a reality check.
You know, Lil Mama, you have a lot of confidence, and that's a good thing.
Thank you.
But you have to actually, no, seriously, you actually have to accomplish a lot more before you come off as cocky.
Lil Mama tried to defend herself, saying she believed in God and knew who she was. But Charlamagne pressed harder. He wanted to know what she'd actually done to earn all that attitude.
Like, the reality show stars do come off as cocky, but they don't do nothing either.
See?
But you're an actual musician. You actually have, I guess, some type of talent. Like, you did have a little buzz going at one point.
Definitely have talent. And
but what have you done lately, though?
When she couldn't give him a solid answer, Charlamagne went even harder. He reminded her, and everyone listening, what the public actually remembered her for.
Oh,
yeah, you gotta show and prove by actions and deeds, not words and lip service. You haven't put out no music in a long time. People know you for playing yourself, walking up on stage with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys.
Charlamagne, seriously,
that's the truth.
To shift the conversation to her personal struggles, including losing her mother to cancer. Charlamagne acknowledged her story, but refused to let her use it as a shield for the gimmicks.
I think you got a real story to tell.
Or you leave it.
I think you got a real story to tell, and I think you should tell it. And, you know, stop focusing on the gimmicks and stop letting people make you out to be a caricature. Because right now you're like a caricature yourself.
Lil Mama left that interview emotional, but Charlamagne's message was delivered. Confidence without results is just arrogance. And he wasn't going to pretend otherwise. But if you think that was direct, wait until you see how he handled one of the biggest artists on the planet who walked in with a God complex. When Kanye West showed up to the Breakfast Club in 2013, fresh off releasing Yeezus, he came in with that signature Kanye energy, convinced he was changing the world. But Charlamagne wasn't impressed. He greeted him as Kanye Kardashian and made it clear from the jump that the revolutionary act wasn't fooling anybody.
Like, to me, it seems like you're such a walking contradiction because you'll denounce the corporations, but then you'll get on stage and say you need Nike and Adidas to back you. That makes no sense to me.
Kanye tried to explain himself, going into his philosophy about mental slavery and how society programs people. But Charlamagne wasn't letting him off the hook that easy.
You feel like a slave, but then ask the companies to back you.
It ain't that I feel like a slave. We are mentally enslaved. We enslaved to brands. We enslaved to like a bin symbol. We enslaved to chains. A woman is enslaved to the concept of diamonds, our girl's best friend.
That's when Charlamagne delivered the kill shot. He compared Kanye's complaints to the real revolutionaries who actually sacrificed everything.
Why do you talk so much about money nowadays, man? I used to look at you as like a real revolutionary. You know, real revolutionaries didn't need money to change the world. Malcolm X wasn't rich. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't rich. Like, I don't understand why everything is so much about money and stuff to you now.
Kanye left that interview still convinced he was right, but Charlamagne had made his point to everyone watching. Talk is cheap, and the math wasn't mathing. Speaking of people who came in ready to defend their position, the next guest showed up because Charlamagne had already given her donkey of the day. When Monique walked into the Breakfast Club, she had a bone to pick. Charlamagne had given her donkey of the day over her Netflix boycott, and she came in with her husband, Sydney, ready to get answers. She wanted to remind Charlamagne of the humble young man she'd met years ago.
And I met a young man that was full of humility and respect. And when I got on that elevator, he actually held the door. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
And I said, "Oh, baby, thank you." And he was just like that. "Yes, ma'am, and Miss Monique, it's a pleasure to meet you."
Monique wanted to know how fighting for equality made her a donkey, but Charlamagne didn't back down.
So my husband and I wanted to come on so we could understand how I got titled Donkey of the Day.
So why'd you give a donkey today, Charlamagne?
Charlamagne broke it down. Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle were selling out arenas and touring before their Netflix deals. He wasn't being disrespectful. He was being real about how the industry works.
I don't think Amy Schumer is funny. That's number one. But she did sell out 50 arenas around the world, including MSG, and HBO wanted her as well. So she created a bidding war based on those stats. So I assume that's the reason her number was at that place.
When Monique kept pushing back, Charlamagne and DG Envy hit her with the cold truth about how the business actually works. Being a legend doesn't guarantee you a check.
And my whole thing is, as a businessman, being a legend and all that doesn't necessarily matter. It's who the people want to see.
Monique accused him of not doing his research, but Charlamagne stood firm. He told her straight up. She was using real issues like racial and gender bias to fight an individual battle.
I've explained it. I said that I think that you're using racial and gender bias, which are actual real issues. The struggle that the black woman is going through in many industries is a real issue, but you're using it to focus on something that you're dealing with individually.
Monique came with receipts, and her husband came with speeches, but Charlamagne never apologized for the donkey. He gave her his reasoning, defended his position, and stood on it, even with an Oscar winner challenging him to his face. But while Monique came with logic, the next guest came with pure chaos and a death wish. Tekashi 6ix9ine's Breakfast Club interview was a masterclass in Charlamagne trying to talk sense into someone who didn't want to hear it. The rainbow-haired rapper came in hot, and when Charlamagne questioned his constant provocations, 6ix9ine's response was terrifying. But Charlamagne didn't back down.
Ever gonna take
You don't think telling people to suck your online got anything to do with it too?
Nah, I tell niggas my every day.
You know, my father used to always say, if you tell somebody to suck your man, you got to be ready to either kill or die.
Alright, and I'm ready to die and I'm ready to kill.
Jesus Christ.
Charlamagne kept trying to reason with him, expressing genuine concern for his safety. He wasn't being a hater. He was trying to give this kid wisdom.
But you see, like, I probably rub off wrong to you, him, and probably a lot of people. But at the end of the day, it's my job to get under people's skin. Like,
Well,
Listen, you're not under my skin, but I just be concerned because you're a young man, you're making money.
When 6ix9ine tried to clap back by questioning Charlamagne's Billboard records, Charlamagne shut that down immediately by listing his actual accomplishments.
You don't got,
Famous
listen, Charlamagne, you
Yes.
don't got no Billboard records.
Yeah, because I got a
one.
nationally
But
syndicated
listen,
radio
you don't got
show.
no Billboard
I
records.
got a nationally
Listen.
syndicated radio show. I got a New York Times best-selling book. I've had hit
Okay.
TV shows. I executive produce a lot of TV shows.
Charlamagne dropped the most prophetic warning of the entire interview. He told 6ix9ine exactly where his lifestyle was heading.
I
His
mean,
famous last words are, "I can't be touched."
well, this is what I'm gonna say to you, Charlamagne. Till that day, I'ma laugh because I know when that day comes, everyone's gonna laugh. So right
But
now,
you can
I'm
prevent
up.
that day, is what we're trying to tell you.
That's what I've been doing.
Charlamagne tried to check him, tried to warn him, but 6ix9ine thought he knew better.
I hope you have a long career, but let's
I
see
am.
if you're around next year.
I am.
And I mean that as an artist and as a human being. Call the pastor in here to pray for the young man.
We all know how that story ended. Charlamagne tried to check him, tried to warn him, but 6ix9ine thought he knew better. Some lessons have to be learned the hard way. Speaking of people who came in ready for war, the next guest showed up with gifts, set boundaries, and demanded a verbal fair one. Dame Dash walked into the Breakfast Club in September 2025 ready for war. For years, the media had been questioning his wealth, and he came in setting boundaries and demanding respect. But Charlamagne wasn't intimidated. He had questions about Dame's finances, his business moves, and he wasn't going to let Dame control the narrative.
My first question was about the Paid in Full.
What about it?
Did you own Paid in Full? Like, how did 50 Cent acquire ownership of Paid in Full?
Dame dismissed the whole thing, saying 50 was capping and there were no rights to buy. But when Charlamagne asked how the public was supposed to know that, Dame set up his own trap. He said if it wasn't announced in Deadline or a major trade publication, you can't believe it.
If you read Deadline, if you know about Deadline, why wasn't there an announcement in any trade magazine? If there's not an announcement in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, or whatever trade, WWD, you can't believe it.
That's when Dame dropped his big announcement. He was now the chairman of Revolt TV with a pathway to acquisition. But Charlamagne used Dame's own standard against him. If Deadline didn't report it, why should he believe it?
How would you buy Revolt?
Why wouldn't you
being a
say?
negative?
Why wouldn't you say congratulations?
You did say congratulations.
Oh, you don't seem excited.
Dope, congratulations.
You have to understand
I'm
something.
waiting for it to come out of Deadline.
Let me
and I'll
finish.
really be like, yo,
Dame tried to flip the script, lecturing Charlamagne about how real business works. Billionaires use loans. Nobody puts assets in their own name. Family offices are how the wealthy move. But Charlamagne kept poking holes, asking a simple question that cut through all the financial jargon.
The minute I give you a loan, you owe me.
yes.
And the more money I give you, the nicer you have to be to me. You have to do whatever I say. And that's the reason why I decided to use my own money, because they would try to give me money but tell me what to do. I'm going to tell you something in
But as long
business.
as I'm
Stop talking.
as I'm paying the loan back, it's not a
You're
problem.
triggering me.
Dame could lecture about family offices and business structures all day, but Charlamagne kept it simple. Have you ever been a billionaire? No. then how would you know how they move? Every time Dame tried to big-time the conversation, Charlamagne brought it back down to earth. Dame came in to clear his name, but he left having to defend every single claim he made. Speaking of guests who came in with an attitude, the next one started checking the hosts before the interview even began, when Nicki Minaj pulled up to the Breakfast Club in 2012 to promote Pink Friday. Roman reloaded, the re-up. She came in with an attitude before the interview even started. DJ Envy had prepared breakfast for her, but Nicki wasn't impressed. She looked at the bacon and told him it wasn't the right brand.
Now, have you had breakfast yet? Because
If you about to pull out some bacon,
I told them to get you collard
turkey
greens.
bacon.
That's not even the right turkey
don't eat
bacon that I eat. I don't eat this one. I eat the real crispy one. I don't eat that brand.
It's too thick, right?
It's burnt.
No. But it's not crispy.
Then, when DJ Envy brought up Nicki's perfume line, things got even more tense.
Oh, well, I have a nice... Did you smell my perfume yet, Angela?
Yes, I
No,
did.
you didn't.
Yes, I did. I promise I did.
But you didn't buy it.
I stay up on it.
But you didn't buy it?
Not yet.
Okay, you a hater.
With the energy already off, Nicki then started criticizing the hosts for not having her songs queued up, acting like they owed her something before she even sat down.
Why y'all don't have the songs queued up, though?
We gotta
wanna
pay
hear
bills first.
Okay, but I want to hear High School. I want to hear Hell Yeah. I want to hear I'm Legit. I want to hear Up in Flames.
That's only Queens right
But
there.
you don't even know these songs. You guys do not...
But Charlamagne wasn't just going to sit there and take it. While Nicki was busy making demands, he slipped in a subtle jab, comparing how she was acting to the American Idol drama with Mariah Carey that everyone was talking about.
Mic
They
on?
turn my mic off. Why y'all doing me like that?
I can't help but think this is how Mariah Carey felt. I can't help but think that.
like that, too.
I feel like Mariah Carey.
Oh my gosh.
Nicki came in rejecting their food, calling Angela a hater, and demanding they play her songs. But Charlamagne made sure she knew this wasn't a one-sided show. That Mariah comparison cut deep, and everybody listening knew exactly what he meant. Speaking of people who made a complete mess on air, the next guest needed an intervention more than an interview. Ray J walked into the Breakfast Club after a string of chaotic interviews on other platforms. He'd been making a mess everywhere he went, and Charlamagne was ready to give him Donkey of the Day in person, with a full list of reasons why.
Now, Ray J, why do you deserve Donkey today? Because I have a list, but I want to hear what type of accountability you take for yourself.
Charlamagne started running down the list, constantly bringing up people, having to apologize for every interview, talking about Kim Kardashian when nobody asked.
You should get Donkey today for constantly talking about Kim Kardashian.
I never talked about her.
You
Not
said,
one time.
You said
Nope.
Kim
He
K
asked
would
me-
smell
No, I
on
did not.
Shay
No,
Shay.
I did not.
When
Cut to the
people,
clip.
When
Never
people
did it.
ask you, you should just say no.
Ray J couldn't even keep it together during the interview itself, burping, coughing, drinking syrup at 8 a.m. Charlamagne called out every single thing.
I'm burping and I'm
You're disgusting.
coughing
You're a mess.
and I'm like doing a Tootsie Roll at the same time.
By the end, Charlamagne had stacked up so many donkeys that Ray J lost count. That's what happens when you come in with no self-awareness.
Cursing again, you get Donkey of the Day. Drinking syrup at 8 o'clock in the morning, you get Donkey of the Day.
I haven't done. I
Hating on Lamel Plummer and the Zeus Network, just to get your network popping, she get you Donkey of the Day.
Ray J took the donkeys in stride, but Charlamagne made sure the message was clear. This wasn't entertainment anymore. It was self-destruction on display. Speaking of artists who had to answer for their actions, the next guest had been talking reckless on Twitter. When Designer finally showed up to the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne was ready. The Brooklyn rapper had tweeted FNYC Radio, and then avoided coming to the show when his buzz was at its peak. Now that things had cooled off, he decided to show up, and Charlamagne called him out immediately.
Now, Design, I'm gonna be honest with you now. When you was red hot and Panda was popping, you didn't come up here. But now things done cooled off here now. Why you didn't come when it was red hot?
Designer tried to say he was just busy, but Charlamagne wasn't buying excuses. He wanted to know about that tweet that disrespected every DJ who had been supporting Panda from day one.
Why did you tweet out FNYC Radio?
Because I want more play. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
On your other records?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good question. I like this. So do you feel like they haven't supported your other singles the way they did Panda?
Charlamagne, Yee, and Envy made it clear. DJs were spinning Panda before Designer even got signed. That tweet was a slap in the face to the people who put him on.
This is your first time up here, which is shocking to me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I do feel like to say F New York radio, but then we haven't seen designer up
No,
here.
it wasn't like that. You feel what I'm saying? Because it wasn't my fault that I wasn't coming up here. You think what I'm saying? It really was me being busy.
By the end, Charlamagne had designer admitting the tweet was a mistake. That's the power of holding someone accountable to their face.
Yeah, it probably was a big moment. You feel what I'm saying? You know, and you know, it was just like on shit like, I want to make it better. You feel me? Because that's not my vibe anyway. You feel me? I'm never on that type of vibe. That was a big moment, and you feel me? I just want to make it better for my tri-state.
Charlamagne got designer to humble himself on air. That's a check and a lesson delivered in one. But while designer at least admitted his mistake, the next guest refused to take any accountability. When Beanie Sigel came to the Breakfast Club during the Meek Mill and Game beef, Charlamagne had already been questioning Beans' moves on other platforms. Now he was ready to say it to his face. Something wasn't adding up.
Over the past month or so, I heard you on Tax Podcast.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I was questioning you with your diss records, man. You sounding like a hater lately, man.
A hater?
Yeah.
How you say that?
Charlamagne laid out the facts. Beanie had done something that if anybody else did that, Beans himself would be calling it a sucker move.
Cause I feel like, you know, you put out 2 diss records, but then you was in the studio with me like 8 days prior to the first diss record. And I'm like, if anybody else did that, I think you'd be saying that was a sucker move.
Beanie tried to explain, saying Charlamagne didn't know all the particulars. But Charlamagne pressed even harder, questioning where Beanie's loyalty really lies.
Yeah.
I mean, this the whole situation seems shaky. I know you say I'm not qualified to speak on it. I'm just observing it, but it just seemed like, you know, loyalty with you lies with who's providing you opportunity at the time.
Man, get the out of here, Charlamagne, man.
That comment set Beanie off. He started going in about how nobody called him to the studio. But Charlamagne had already made his point.
Provide me, what loyalty, with who? He ain't provide me no opportunity. He ain't called me and asked me to do that. Mm-hmm. I did that. I walked into Meek wasn't even there. It was just O'Malley in the studio.
Beanie could curse and get defensive all he wanted, but Charlamagne's observation was already out there for the world to judge. The optics looked bad, and nothing Beanie said could change that. Speaking of young artists getting reality checks, the next guest thought his streaming numbers made him untouchable. When Nelly came through the Breakfast Club, he walked in like the legend he was, one of the biggest artists of the 2000s. Owner of Apple Bottoms, part owner of the Bobcats. But Charlamagne wasn't about to let past success shield present reality.
Got bread. Don't think just because Nelly's cold out here musically, he don't got no money. He got bread.
Why are you calling him cold musically so much?
I mean,
now see, this is why I don't like. No.
Nelly's demeanor shifted immediately. He wasn't used to people telling him his music wasn't hitting anymore. But Charlamagne doubled down. This is what he does. He keeps it real with artists, even when they don't want to hear it.
Angela, and we have this conversation all the time. They say Nelly's not out here musically. Now that he's here, y'all gonna act like that?
I definitely didn't say that because we had a conversation.
Charlamagne explained that he was speaking on the current state of things. The last few records weren't connecting, and he wasn't going to pretend otherwise just because Nelly was sitting in front of him.
Tell the artist the truth. He said the last record sold records. It was more of a pop record, but we said this record with Merry Go Round we didn't like as
Nelly,
much.
Slides.
We said we didn't like
yeah, they did say that. You did say you didn't like the record. You said he's cold out here.
Nelly didn't take that lightly. He reminded everybody that he keeps retainers on deck, a subtle threat that made Charlamagne joke about getting sued. But here's the thing. Charlamagne had already said what he needed to say.
Retainers are retainers, so we make sure we keep them.
Oh, I'm suing. Please don't hit me.
Nelly could flex about retainers all he wanted, but the check had already been cashed. Charlamagne called him cold, explained why, and moved on. That's the power of saying what you mean. Once it's out there, it's out there. Speaking of artists who had to face uncomfortable truths, the next guest's interview became legendary for all the wrong reasons. Host Malone's Breakfast Club interview in 2015 became legendary for how uncomfortable it got. Charlamagne wasn't sold on the young artist from the jump, and he wasted no time asking the question that was on everybody's mind.
Are you afraid as a white rapper that you may be considered a culture vulture?
I don't think so. I'm not scared. I'm not scared because I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not.
True indeed.
Host tried to explain that he just likes what he likes. The braids, the gold teeth, the music. But Charlamagne kept the pressure on. When they got into the topic of his cornrows, Charlamagne made his feelings crystal clear.
FYI, I think all white people with cornrows look stupid, but that has nothing to do with
No, that's
nothing
cool.
to do with you. I just think in general.
Then came the question that made the whole interview go viral. Charlamagne asked Post what he was doing for the Black Lives Matter movement, and Post had no idea how to respond.
What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
What?
I don't know.
Is that a serious question?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
If anything.
Post scrambled to answer, bringing up a tragic story about a fan who tweeted his lyrics before being killed by police. But when he tried to wrap up his answer by saying he could help through music, Charlamagne's response was brutal.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess what I can do to help Black Lives Matter is I to just keep making music. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Got you.
I don't know.
I would have just said nothing.
Post survived that interview and went on to become a superstar. But Charlamagne made sure he earned every bit of it. No free passes, no softball questions. If you're going to be in this culture, you better be ready to answer for it. Speaking of young artists who got reality checks, the next guest thought his streaming numbers made him untouchable. Lil Yachty came through the Breakfast Club promoting Lil Boat 2, but Charlamagne had some uncomfortable truths to deliver. When Yachty mentioned that the kids are fickle and move on fast, Charlamagne turned that observation right back on him.
When did you realize the kids were fickle though? At what point did you wake up and be like, God?
That's not even a bad thing. Like I'm not saying as if that's not a bad thing at all.
Yachty tried to play it cool, saying his fans would love him no matter what. But Charlamagne hit him with a simple question that cut through all the confidence.
Like you said, there's a lot of new artists coming out. The fans are fickle. So it is kind of making sure that I have to put stuff out there that's going to make me stand out.
My fans gonna love me regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Will they though?
Might as well. They rock with me on this album.
Then Yachty decided to address something that had been bothering him. He called Charlamagne out for a previous interview where he called Yachty whack.
Hey, because like I told you earlier, you are the poster child
exactly
for whack rappers. If they want to say somebody's whack, they say you.
Yachty was visibly bothered, but Charlamagne didn't apologize. He explained it's a generational thing. Somebody always holds that title, and right now it was Yachty's turn. Before Yachty left, Charlamagne hit him with one final piece of advice that doubled as a warning about his spending habits.
But just don't go broke, because if you go broke, you're going to really give people a reason to jump on you.
Oh, God.
Well, there you have it.
That's a nightmare.
Yachty came in hoping Charlamagne would take back what he said. Instead, Charlamagne doubled down and told him not to go broke on top of it. That's the kind of reality check you don't forget. But if you think that's humbling, wait until you see the next guest who thought he invented hip-hop. Soulja Boy's Breakfast Club interview became an instant classic, not because of any music he was promoting, but because of the outrageous claims he made and Charlamagne's refusal to let any of them slide. By 2019, Soulja Boy was trying to reclaim relevance after years out of the spotlight, claiming he had the biggest comeback in hip-hop history and a $400 million deal. Charlamagne had the receipts ready to fact-check every word, starting with those chains Soulja was wearing stacked on top of each other.
Now, let's talk about the trailer because we see Nia Riley saying that...
That's a lot of noise, man. That shit hollow as
Yo, you just never had a lot of chains on top of each other.
Then Soulja started talking about how much money he makes daily, claiming over $233,000 in a single day. Charlamagne shut that down immediately.
How much did I make yesterday?
It's $233,000, $604.88.
Thank you. SouljaWatch.com.
It's a Google image, though.
Order your video. No, it's not.
It's a Google image.
Charlamagne also questioned where Soulja was really from, poking holes in the origin story Soulja had been telling for years.
I am from Bumpton.
You from Compton?
Yeah, I'm from Bumpton, yeah.
I thought you from Mississippi somewhere.
Nah, I'm from Bumpton. I'm from California, Bumpton, yeah.
How?
What you mean how? Where you from, South Carolina?
Yeah. But the moment that broke the internet came when Soulja started taking shots at Drake. Charlamagne let him cook, because the rant was so wild it became a meme on its own.
Y'all just better stop playing with me in here. Y'all talking about the light skin from DeGeneres?
From Toronto.
Yo, stop playing with me.
That interview turned into a meme gold mine, but Charlamagne made sure every wild claim got challenged. Soulja Boy thought he was running a victory lap. Charlamagne turned it into an accountability session. Speaking of people who needed to be humbled, the next guest tried to play the fame card with police. Ugly God made the fatal mistake that every young artist should avoid. He played the "Do you know who I am" card with police, and Charlamagne had to give him Donkey of the Day for the ultimate display of unearned arrogance.
Okay, we on the radio and I can't see any of you all, but I'm going to assume that a lot of you grown adults who listen to the Breakfast Club have no idea who Ugly God is. Well,
Charlamagne set it up perfectly. Most adults had no clue who this kid was. Yet he thought being on the XXL freshman list meant police should recognize him.
Well, Ugly God was pulled over for careless driving this weekend, and he had the nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall to play the "You don't know who I am" card.
The actual footage showed the cops' response, and Charlamagne made sure everyone heard the lesson being taught in real time.
Ugly Space God. Look, I love the confidence, young brother.
I would never try that.
Charlamagne used this as a masterclass in humility. He even brought up how Beyonce, one of the most famous people on the planet, still introduces herself to people.
I don't know if you have songs, but they probably know who I am. Nobody knows who you are, man. You don't think so? I've never met you before.
Charlamagne turned one cocky moment into a teaching moment for every young artist watching. Work until you don't have to introduce yourself. But if you think that confrontation was intense, our final guest came from outside hip-hop entirely. And Charlamagne told him straight to his face that he didn't believe a word coming out of his mouth. When Vivvec Ramaswami came to the Breakfast Club after his exit from Doge, he expected to spin his narrative without pushback. What he got was Charlamagne telling him straight up, "I don't believe you. No politician talk, no dancing around it, just direct confrontation."
Tell us, Vivvec, what happened with Doge?
Yeah, congratulations on the job. Thank you, man.
Oh, you don't have it anymore.
Yeah. It's not my job right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm running
sorry.
for.
Take that back then.
I'm moving on to my next,
Did you get pushed out?
frontier.
Did you get fired? Like, what?
No,
did you leave?
Vivvec tried to spin it as a difference in vision, but Charlamagne wasn't letting him get away with political speak. He called it exactly how he saw it.
It was a slightly different vision.
I hear you, Vivvec.
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
Oh, that's fair
But
enough.
I think you either got pushed out or you know that it's going to implode.
Charlamagne laid out his theory. Vivvec saw the disaster coming and jumped ship before Elon crashed and burned the whole operation.
I think that you know Elon is going to crash and burn it, and you're a smart guy, and you said, you know what? Let me get out of Dodge and go do my Governor of Ohio thing.
When Vivvec kept trying to explain his constitutional approach, Charlamagne read between the lines. He could see the subtle shots Vivvec was taking while pretending to be diplomatic.
It was a slightly different vision from where we started to where we landed. And it's not that it's, one's right or wrong, but if you take a look at where we began, right, Doge is going to be an outside body to the government.
Charlamagne proved that day that it doesn't matter who you are, rapper, actress, or politician. Walk into the Breakfast Club thinking you can spin your way through the interview, and you're getting checked. He said what everybody was thinking, and he said it to Vivvec's face.